There's always a special atmosphere when it's a competitive game at Lansdowne Road. And let us not forget that it's 1995 when Ireland last lost a competitive fixture in this stadium, and Mick McCarthy has never lost one.
I think Mick will have reinforced that in the dressing room before the players came out. You know, we're very difficult to beat here. I think we've scored in now, is it 14 consecutive internationals? I mean, that's a great record to have going into this. And although we're weakened today, we have that great spirit and togetherness. And if everybody performs as we'd like, I think it's possible those qualities might just compensate.
Damien Duff, a goal against Tottenham for Blackburn last weekend after his first international goal in the friendly against Croatia. Mick McCarthy playing his joker. The Irish lineup we know so well. Maybe not the way we'd have liked it to look at the back, but Richard Dunn and Stephen Staunton have played together before and have been effective enough before. And Matty Holland in the midfield in place of the injured Mark Kinsella alongside Roy Keane and Jason McAteer. Amsterdam revisited?
Well, yeah, I mean, Mick McCarthy has a tendency to be loyal and to go back to people like that. Jason McAteer will give you an awful lot of enthusiasm. You know, he'd be very motivated. He'll give you a hell of an amount of work. He has a tendency to lapse his concentration occasionally, and that's always a slight worry. And, you know, with regard to Staunton and Dunn, yes, for the first 45 minutes against Portugal, they had their problems. But, you know, for the fact that they've got a game in against Croatia, it can only help.
And this is the Dutch formation. Names that we don't know so well. Kevin Hofland, christened Kevin Keegan Hofland because his father is such a Liverpool and Keegan nut. 22 years of age, just his fourth international alongside Stam. And in the midfield, Mark van Bommel beside the captain Cocu, who's making just his 9th appearance. Both of them players with PSV Eindhoven.
Hofland and Stam is get the ball at the feet. There's no point in knocking it aerially without Niall Quinter, Robbie Keane and Damien Duff. So I think we have to be clever in possession like that. And we've seen Stam in the past struggle when it's bouncing around about him. Not the greatest balance. And if we can get good ball into the feet of our two strikers, who knows?
Well, we're all set now for the conclusion of the formalities here. The playing of the two national anthems. They are a colourful bunch, aren't they? And now let's hear Aaron Devine. It's a wonderful, evocative Irish occasion in Dublin 4, where all crew will lead the match. The first whistle, here we go. Holland playing left to right. 90 minutes from a momentous decision. Melchior of Chelsea forward for his teammate Zenda. And Keane in there to put the pressure on already. And Stam will give a first touch to Edwin van der Sar. Champions League winner with Ajax Amsterdam in 1995. And not a particularly good clearance. Gary Kelly sliding in there firmly. That's Newman. And Roy Keane with the first big tackle. Yes, in among them. Cocu goes down.
I'm happy to see that. I just hope that if Ireland could get a couple of tackles in like that without yellow cards, I'll be very pleased, because this is exactly the type of thing we need to unsettle the Dutch. I think next time he's just been told it will be yellow. But thankfully he got away with it this time, but no arguments, he's just taken. It could have been yellow, couldn't it? Serious enough.
Well, he got the telling off, and there was an eyeball-to-eyeball with Patrick Kluivert as well from the referee, who didn't like the dissent. So we've set the battle plan in place. Let's see what effect it has. Ian Hart in on Zenden there. And Kilban clattered by Kluivert. He's going to be booked for that, I would have thought. Well, is there tension here or what? Kluivert unhappy at Keane's challenge on Cuckoo, then exacting his own retribution. And a nice smile from Kevin Kilban, and he's not going to be rattled by that. Kluivert being called back to the referee. He's not going to book him, he's going to get off, as Roy Keane did.
Well, that's a direct result of the Roy Keane tackle earlier on. Kluivert was unhappy with that. I think he wanted Roy Keane booked, and he went straight in on Kevin Kilban as he tried to play clear from the edge of the box. This is the Zenden one. Ian Hart's got his arm up, but there's certainly no intent there. Zenden's gone down diving.
I think we all understand the terms of engagement.
The referee's going to need to have eyes in the back of his head, I think, for the moment.
Gibbons free kick. Melchior up with Kilban. Cuckoo hoofing it away. It's Gary Kelly under pressure here from Overmars. And it's Kluivert who's arrived. There's danger here. Kluivert! Oh, he's missed it. Well, first slice of luck for Mick McCarthy's team.
He should have scored. It's as simple as that. Ireland should be 1-0 down. Gary Kelly, very, very surprised. He just let it run away from him. I don't think he realised that Kluivert was so close. And it was just a case of picking a spot. Shea Given got himself into a decent position, trying to cover the angles, but I think there's enough room there for him to slide it into the far corner. That is a let-off.
Heart in mouth time. Ball's out. Well, what a start. Concern already. But in the grand scheme of things, that is a slice of luck. Melchior will take the throw. Kluivert. And that was Van Bommel, back with Stam. Van der Sar, Van Nistelrooy going up. Kelly taking no chances this time. Holland and McAteer dispossessed by Cuckoo. That's for Overmars. Kelly going with him and dispatching it into row 12 of the East Stand. Chippily enough start by Ireland. Newman back in the Dutch squad for the first time in a year with that throw. Kilban back defending. It's Van Nistelrooy though. Van Nistelrooy for Kluivert. Didn't quite reach him. A chance here for Van Bommel. And Given had to get down to save.
Well, I mean, after what he did at White Hart Lane not so long ago, then we've got to guard against that all the while. We can't afford to give them any sort of time like this. He's done well to drill that low, trying to pick a spot. Given read it well.
Now here's Keane. And a chance for breath to be drawn. Tense afternoon and a tense opening from Ireland. This game only 4 minutes old and already 2 frights. Aim towards Robbie Keane, won by Hofland. It's Duff. Away from Hofland. Damien Duff trying to get the little cross in, came off Newman. Not great by Van Bommel. McAteer. Now Kelly. Duff is offside. And he certainly looked at it at first glance, and the assistant on the far side of the flag straight up. No doubt. Cuckoo as McAteer slid in. Newman, Hofland, and McAteer has won it back. He got away with that. Kelly there to assist. Kluivert judging the bounce. Kelly winning that. McAteer on towards Robbie Keane for Damien Duff. The flag's up again. And the crowd behind the assistant on their feet. Marginal.
Yeah, maybe half a yard. as the header came from Robbie Keane. Maybe Damien Duff was just half a yard one side.
This, of course, a key for Ireland as well. Mick McCarthy gambling with the two smaller men. No beanpole up the middle to trouble Stam, at least at this stage of the game. It's Hart against Zenden. Holland thought about committing. Now it's Kluivert back again for Zenden, and Zenden with a shot. Well, he brought the worst out of Shay Given in Chelsea against Newcastle, but today he was totally untroubled by Zenden's effort.
Just in that little move, though, I'm just looking at Kluivert. You know, Kluivert, he's sitting off Van Nistelrooy as we expected. You know, and behind the Irish midfield as well. So it's up to Roy Keane or Matt Holland just to keep an eye on that, and of course for Steve Staunton to be able to spot it and Richard Dunn and alert people to it.
Hart wasn't particularly clever. It's now Kluivert facing his Holland. Robbie Keane arriving, unable to intervene, and on it goes for Overmars. Facing Kelly. McAteer arriving. Still Overmars. Still Overmars. Dunn thought about committing. Overmars. It's more by good fortune than good judgment that they got away with that. Then Staunton has given it to Zenden. Oh dear, oh dear. Now the signs are there that this is going to be an afternoon full of tension.
We look very nervous. I think we've got to inject a little bit of composure. We had a few attempts. Richard Dunn, Steve Staunton, straight to Zenden. Nice idea, but never really threatened. I mean, we just got to settle things down a little bit now, begin to find people, and if we're going to try and be clever like that, we're going to put ourselves in trouble. You know, let's knock one or two into the corners for the moment, give Duff and Robbie Keane a chance to chase, close it down, and we'll pick it up from there.
It's Ireland's ball. Holland for Kilban. It came off Melchiot. Kilban safe in that knowledge, happy to collect the throw. McAteer. Hoffland sliding in, goal kick. While there are the jitters at the back, at least Ireland are getting into the Dutch third of the field, even if they haven't yet troubled Van der Sar. Richard Dunn with a firm header. Keane, Robbie against Stam. Yup. Kilban. Crowded out by Zenden and Van Bommel. Hart has put it out, and it's a Dutch throw. Good one, Roy Keane in the way. Hart. Holland in to win it. Kilban and Robbie Keane struggle, and Stam tidies it up. Trying to measure one towards Overmars, and the way was McAteer. Cuckoo. McAteer again, though. Kelly. Gibbons clearance towards Damien Duff. Sun beginning to peek through Lansdowne Road after a damp-filled morning. Duff has been left on the ground by a challenge by Arthur Newman, which the referee didn't spot. It's Kilban trying to get past Melchiot. And Melchiot doing the better. Cuckoo for Zenden. Staunton arriving, leaving his central defensive position, but now he can resume. Damien Duff is back on his feet. Van der Sar, a player who likes to play outfield in the five-a-sides and likes to leave his area to try and pick out teammates with passes like that one to Newman, as Overmars chases and Given lets it go for the goal kick. Now, what about this?
To be honest, looking at it first time, and I think the referee, to be fair to him, did spot the draw. I think it's just a flailing arm. Maybe it was a little more deliberate. He seemed to be preparing to jump initially, then realised Duff was there, swung the arm back. You know, blind side for the referee. It's the other side. He can't be sure what contact is made. We'll let him off with that one.
He's a very experienced referee. His last World Cup tie was Brazil against Paraguay. Robbie Keane. McAteer found the space well, and Stam puts him down, and Ireland have a free kick. And what has happened here? The referee is having words with Melchiot. Obviously something was said.
First impressions, maybe it's a bit far for Ian Hart, but I think we've stolen a few yards on it, so now within range.
And what about that foot injury? Just where he strikes the ball, 9 stitches there. He'll play through the pain.
He's out there, I mean, it should be fine.
He can't hit them. And we know that, and they know that. And Van der Sar has placed his wall. And here's Ian Hart. And he hasn't gone for the big one. He's gone instead for Roy Keane. And that's just spun away for the throw-in. Decent variation. But leading nowhere, sadly. Keane unable to control it. Kluivert pushed in the back by Holland. Free kick quickly taken for Van Bommel. On for Overmars. Has Richard Dunn got the pace to match him? And the answer is no. Here's Overmars. 2 in the middle for him. Van Nistelrooy there. Staunton just dug it out in time. And Roy Keane has brought it away. And now McAteer and Keane. And this is better. Here goes Kilban. And they defended that well enough. Kilban on for Robbie Keane. Melchiot back with him. Robbie Keane, Duff was short. He's gone instead for the ball back towards Hart. And it's gone out of play. Deflected out by Dutch foot. Well, they did break out of defence well. They shut the door effectively. Stamp. Van Bommel for Van Nistelrooy. Staunton intercepting. Kelly and Roy Keane and Damien Duff taking on Hofland and brought down by Hofland. And the first card of the day goes out to the new Dutch centre half, just his 4th international, and a yellow card for the foul on Damien Duff. So an indication in the recklessness of that challenge that Louis van Gaal has claimed his team about the potential of Damien Duff. Here's Gary Kelly with the free kick. Played up the line for Duff. This time it's Kaku with him. And Kaku challenges, Duff goes down and only get a throw. Robbie Keane. McAteer towards Roy Keane. Minded by Melchiot. Shot Robbie Keane. And Van der Sar did what he had to do. That's better.
It is, and it's important if we whip one into the box like that your Kilbans and your Roy Keanes get in there to add some sort of presence in the air. I mean, in the end, I don't think it ever had the power from Robbie Keane to beat Van der Sar. He kind of flicked at it really, but you know, it was a good effort.
He's held this up well. That's for Kilban, but it found Stam instead. Stam for Kluivert. And Kluivert away to Arthur Newman. Overmars taking on Kelly. McAteer there to assist. Back it goes then for Newman. And all the way back for Hofland. For Lazio man. Zenden. That's for Overmars. They like to use the whole width of the pitch, don't they? And 2 very tricky wingers, this fella in particular. Past Kelly. Keane, missed kick, Staunton away.
Roy Keane very fortunate, you know, because that could have gone anywhere. Thankfully, it was a big slice. Any more on that, and he might have even found his own corner of the net.
Any suggestion at all that Lady Luck is wearing green today? Zenden's throw. Out to Kaku. Staunton stretching and given there to gather it in.
But my worry on that one was when Zenden played the crossfield pass. It spent an awful long time in the air. McAteer's got to be doubling up quicker with Gary Kelly before Overmars can do anything. Robbie Keane, you know, decent effort trying to find the corner, but just didn't have the pace behind it.
McAteer for Duff. A lot of pace on that ball, but Duff took it well. And taking on Hofland again. Good run by McAteer and a good ball by Duff. Kaku tracked it. That's a goal kick. So that was well played. The whole thing through Duff and on for McAteer. Louis van Gaal. Some agitation on the Dutch bench. Staunton lost it there. Here's Zenden. Oh.
Do you know, I think that's a worse miss than Kluivert's before. You could excuse Kluivert a little bit. All Zenden's got to do there with giving a no man's land is just to lift it. All he's got to do is lift it. Didn't get the height on it, and we really should have been 1-0 down then. It wasn't, you know, that decisive from Steve Staunton. Should have done better, but Zenden, that's a very weak attempt.
Forward from Hart towards Duff, won by Hopland. Zenden. Now it's Van Bommel, and that should be dealt with by Ireland, and is. Well played, Shay Given. Steve Staunton having created the room for him to do that. Kelly with a good tackle. McAteer, Duff is straight again. Play a very tight offside.
He's got to keep an eye on that now, Damien Duff, and indeed Robbie Keane, because they're looking to push up all the while, so the ball's got to be better timed. It's got to go early. It's close, you know, just slightly better timed, and he'll get away with it.
Hopland. Newman. And overmarch to run Kelly again. Stood up nicely for him. McAteer back to assist. Kelly's got it away, but here's Kluivert. Now Newman up in support. Back it goes for Cuckoo. Cuckoo, Kluivert, not a good pass from him, and it's Kilban. Chased by Van Bommel. Good tackle by him. Melchiot sliding in. And now Zenden. Van Bommel. And Cuckoo. And Cuckoo for Van Nistelrooy is offside. Offside. First time that Van Nistelrooy got involved, and the flag went straight up, and he was, close enough that.
Very. I mean, we will give it just, but clever ball from Cuckoo. I thought we sat very deep. It's times like that when you want to see the player in possession being pressurised. We've got to get to them tighter.
Now, Shay Given will dispatch it along. It's towards Kilban. Hasn't quite got there. And Van Bommel was unchallenged. Van Bommel. And now got Given to save.
This is what we feared. You know, there could be a couple up, no doubt, and we just backed off. The midfield were never going to get there. It was up to Staunton in particular, thinking, you know, just have a dart earlier to prevent that from coming in, but thankfully Shay Given's been alive to it up to now.
Here's Roy Keane. Holland has made a run, he's checked it now. Hart towards Matty Holland, Stam climbing over him and barging him out of the way. Good decision by the referee. Stam led with the elbow into the back of Matty Holland. And now an Irish free kick. Kilban free on the left, and Keane spotted it. Melchiot is closed now. Trying to open the room for the cross. Van der Sar, big man, was there to catch it, but it had curled out and back in again.
Yeah, it was the linesman gave that decision. But it's better. I mean, it's the first chance he's really had of taking on a full-back in the game, and he was a little unlucky.
Bad goal kick. McAteer going in on Newman, and that was too vigorous. And there's the telly tutors who follow the Dutch everywhere. Not a good ball by Melchiot, an Irish throw. I believe we've some news from the touchline. Darren Maloney.
Thank you, George. Well, Mick has just told Kevin Kilban to drop back inside to try and pick up Van Bommel when they have the ball, and he's told Robbie Keane to try and split the two centre halves.
My word. And in surely would tell Ian Hart not to play a pass like that. Then to the throw to the Dutch. Done. Very decisive with the clearance. Now it's Kilban. It's towards Robbie Keane. Laid off for Duff to chase. Just a little too pacey. The idea was good. And if Duff hadn't fallen over when he played the last ball, he might well have been there. Good understanding between those two. have done decisive enough. Kilban, Duff trying to time the run this time, and it's better. Melchiot chasing back. Robbie Keane is in the middle. Duff against Melchiot. Damien Duff still sliding one through for McAteer. Kilban is there in support. Better build up for the Irish. Kilban's cross. At the back is Robbie Keane, and he felt he was pushed as he went to head it by Cuckoo.
He was. I think he's got a case. Cuckoo knew he wasn't going to be able to get to it in the end, and he barged into the back of Robbie Keane, who I think was just about, where am I going to put this? He was caught by Cuckoo. Doesn't show it particularly well there. Maybe we'll get a better idea now. It's not exactly graphic, is it? But he certainly was nudged.
He wasn't in control of his leap at all. Hart got a little edge on that, and Kilban tries to shoulder Zenden out of the way, and that's a foul. Off the ball, a degree of agitation shown by Kluivert to those behind him. It's been that they're not being as solid as they might be, despite the fact that the Dutch have had better things in this opening quarter of the game. Free kick from Zenden. Staunton not decisive enough with that clearance. And now it's Overmars against Gary Kelly. And that's only gone to Newman. Now Van Bommel. Staunton not getting it away this time. It's Van Nistelrooy, but dispossessed by Robbie Keane. No width on the left for him except that provided by Kilban, who's very deep. And brought down by Zenden. The card is coming out for Boudewijn Zenden. Second yellow card for Holland. That foul on Kilban.
Did well, Kilban, because it's been a problem for us. We're sitting very deep, and when we release it early, it's difficult to get up in quick support. In fact, the move just before that was the best Ireland have put together in the match, when Robbie Keane was eventually nudged.
Free kick will come from Ian Hart. Sent towards Kilban. He's got Melchiot right behind him. Nicely away. Kilban. Stam got his chest in the way though. And Staunton has stepped ahead of Van Nistelrooy, who tripped him. Staunton annoyed. The referee saying, I'll handle this. But possibly he'll get away with it. Staunton's being told off for protesting. And Van Nistelrooy has indeed got away with it.
It was a free kick, there's no doubt about it. But I think what Steve Staunton's upset about is that when he himself up, Van Nistelrooy had a little bit of a kick at him when he reacted, and that's why he was protesting to the referee.
He's got the free kick and he'll take it himself, Steve Staunton. Towards McAteer, who was pushed off it there. And Newman goes down clutching his head. And the cross comes in towards Keane, and Van der Sar will put it out of play. Now, what happened there for me was that he committed the foul and then threw himself down to make it look like the infringement was the other way.
You're right, but there might have been a little bit of contact from McAteer, because McAteer did throw his arm up as well. But the initial contact was made by Newman there, and McAteer did just swing back and perhaps just caught him.
Well, my word, he did catch him.
But you're right, I mean, the push was from Newman. You know, he was about, I thought, to give a free kick away on the edge of the box. The referee didn't see that. And McAteer did swing from. Now, whether the referee will react now because there is a little show of blood and it looks more serious, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, well, I honestly thought, I accept that his arm flew out, but I honestly thought that it was a product of Newman's push when he was losing his balance. Up went McAteer, he's pushed away there, and the arm, he's almost in a swan dive at that point, and Newman's head got in the way. Well, anything to take their mind off the lucky escapes.
Yeah, I mean, the fear, and it's turning out to be true. Every time the Dutch come forward with any little bit of menace, they look as if they're going to score. You know, we have been let off the hook a couple of times. Thankfully, it's improved the last 5 minutes for Ireland. We've begun to string a few passes together, and we've looked a little more composed in our play, supporting one another quicker. But the Dutch have been on top.
Now Newman is being carried away, having been cut on the forehead. Will it be a case of some stitches and a resumption, or what will Van Gaal the side. This physiotherapy team have brought the news. It's obviously not good news, so Numan will be taken away, but there is no indication as yet that anything is going to happen just yet. Giovanni van Bronckhorst, the new Arsenal man, former teammate of Numan's at Glasgow Rangers, is warming up.
And he's no stranger to playing left back. I mean, I think indeed he played the position during Euro 2000 for them on a few occasions.
Well, there was a throw-in, the ball given back to Holland in the form of a goal kick. And they play on with 10 men. Cocu has gone to left back. And this is the total football the Dutch indulge in. Now we're without a left back, somebody will slot in there and do very well. And he has played left back as well, was Cocu. That's headed towards Van Nistelrooy. Not a contact there from Stan Staunton, but there's enough pace in the ball to take it through to Shea Given. Kelly. It's towards Duff, a little enlarged here, and Duff got the better of Stam, and now Robbie Keane, tidied up by Van Bommel, then completed the clearance by bursting an orange balloon. Cocu, should be Staunton's, nicely cushioned for Roy Keane, and on for Gary Kelly. Back with Kelly once more. Not too long from him.
I mean, in defence of the fullback, he's not got a lot to aim at there. I mean, the movement isn't great in front of him, and it looks like that ball forward all the time, and it's very difficult to pick out a green shirt.
No hurry from Van der Sar. Holland still with 10 men. The feeling must be that Arthur Numan will be fitted up to resume, perhaps with a scrum cap. The ball isn't in his hand, so he can't be penalised for time wasting. Van Nistelrooy dispossessed by Hart. Now it's Keane, good awareness. Zenden was arriving. Staunton, all left foot on that occasion, deciding that Shea Given was the best option. And that's towards Kilban. He's pushed by Mario Melchiot, and it's an Irish free kick. It's with Richard Dunn. On for Kelly. First bit of controlled football that Ireland have really played. Cocu getting the better of McAteer, who was pushing him. Cocu still filling in at left back. Still no sign of Numan's resumption. The message has just come that Numan, who's being treated in the dressing room, will be back in a minute. So no need for a substitution, and Holland presumably will keep knocking the ball about like this until he does resume. It's a very wise move by Van der Sar, inviting the pressure back on again. McAteer, the run comes from Roy Keane, but Van der Sar able to take control of that.
Well, it was a bit of a waste, and Roy Keane's letting Jason McAteer know exactly that. I mean, he played much too much on that.
Well, McAteer was involved in the challenge on Arthur Numan, who is now back on the field of play. Liberal application of Vaseline seems to have solved the problem. It's Richard Dunn, Gary Kelly and Roy Keane and Kilban. And Melchiot bringing him down. Another foul. The Dutch taking no prisoners. The German referee issuing another warning.
Well, it's unfortunate, but anytime Kilban's beating a man now, apart from that one moment when he got to the end line, it's in his own half. He's very, very deep, as Ireland are generally, and I think we've got a problem in converting defence to attack today.
Meanwhile, Damien Duff has been penalised for his challenge that tripped up Job Stam. And They might just caught sight of some assistance for Mark van Bommel, whose studs have come loose. Or has he changed studs, perhaps? Now he's back. And the free kick will be taken by Van der Sar. Van Nistelrooy sent it to where Overmars would normally be, but Overmars had tucked inside. Throw in as the result, and it is in favour of Ireland. Staunton and Hart, and Luke won towards Robbie Keane, and the foul by Keane on Hopland. 50-50 challenge, I'd have thought, but not how the referee saw it.
I think Mick McCarthy would like to see much more possession in midfield, because playing like this and looking for that longer ball, he might as well have gone with Niall Quinn.
Yes, because it certainly against Croatia, it seemed there were better options in the first half of that friendly, and you would have thought that they might play a bit more like that in this match. But then maybe it's the old tension thing, that they've had those let-offs at the beginning, and there's still a degree of edginess involved. Kelly against Kaku. It's not very good at all. Overmars, well, Ian Hart managed to solve the problem created by his uncle. Robbie Keane through the challenge of Van Bommel. Oh, nicely played, very well played. And now Gary Kelly. Duff wants to play to feet, that's just what he's got. Back again for Kelly. A little bit of control from Ireland would do no harm at all, and do the confidence good as well. Holland, who's been something of an anonymity so far in this match.
I knew what you meant. He has. He's been quiet, but I mean, that's my point on the midfield. I think generally we're not imposing ourselves on the game in that department. I think we could be closing down better when the Dutch have had it at times, and also our passing is nowhere near as we'd like it to be.
Van Nistelrooy aiming for Overmars again. Tuck back for Newman. And Robbie Keane in to dispossess Van Bommel. And Roy Keane is in there. It's all got a bit fractious. And the outcome is a free kick to Ireland. Robbie Keane has certainly begun to shine, but sadly for Ireland, he's shining in the middle of the field.
Well, it's symptomatic of the way things are going in general. I mean, to get on the ball, he's having to come deeper and deeper, which presumably is what Mick McCarthy doesn't want, with the instruction he gave before and trying to dissect the two centre-backs and get a few little runs in behind them.
Van, Robbie Keane, taken away from Melchiot. Tried to thread one through there for Duff, cleared by Hopland. Van Nistelrooy holding off Staunton, and Roy Keane digs it out from his new teammate. Puts it through to Holland. Foul throw given against Melchiot for taking it from the wrong place. And ball. Another free kick for Ireland. Hart spotted the early run of Jason McAteer, nicely controlled in his chest. McAteer for Robbie Keane. Swung in towards Roy Keane, who's not close enough to it, but that's now come to McAteer. Back for Richard Dunn. Flipped forward towards Duff against Hopland, and Hopland was being pushed by Dunn. Duff the guilty party. Not a good pass by Staum, and Van Bommel was injured in that 50-50 with Kilban. It's now Roy Keane. Duff has gone offside. It's gone for Ian Hart, who's left it for Kilban. 20 in the middle. Kilban's cross. Roy Keane going in. Newman heading it away. Now it's Gary Kelly against Overmars. Kelly's cross, not a good one, and gathered in by Van der Sar. Newman. Van Bommel is back on his feet. That's him in the centre circle there. It's obviously none the worse, but he looked to have been injured when he went down.
To be honest, I thought it was a good challenge. I mean, studs were showing from Kilban, but I thought he played the ball, and I think Van Bommel was acting a little.
Melchiot. Van Nistelrooy, return from Melchiot, unbalanced him, now Kluivert. Van Bommel. And a lovely ball for Overmars. And Overmars proving that he too can develop a foot of clay from time to time. Not very often, but it suited Ireland then. Now Holland. Kelly. Stam opted for the back pass to one of the most comfortable goalkeepers on the ball, Van der Sar. Newman. Cocu. Hofland. And Melchiot. Zenden, stopped by Hart. It's Kilban now. Roy Keane there to assist. Keane for Duff. Stam has been brought forward to deal with it. And you could actually say that the Dutch are playing very much in the Jack Charlton Irish way, putting under pressure. You saw there how Jaap Stam pushed right up on Damien Duff and forced the error, and they won back the ball ultimately.
It's always the most difficult time when you've been hurried like that, and it showed from Ireland. I mean, the Dutch credit too, the good tactics, but again, we can't seem to get that release at the moment.
Numa. And that's a foul by Kelly and Cocu, and a yellow card for Gary Kelly for that foul on Cocu.
On Overmars, wasn't it? And Gary Kelly had committed himself before the ball even arrived at the Dutchman's feet, and that was a reckless one to pick up.
There's the free kick. Stam stretched, and how did they all miss that? This Roy can't believe it.
Well, I'm not quite sure who it touched, if it touched anybody, but it was a wonderful ball across. I think it did come off a head near post, okay? Was it an Irish head? Yeah, Matty Holland it was. Should have been a corner really, and again we're fortunate.
That's the merest of touches, enough to deflect it sufficiently away from the lunging feet of Stam and Van Nistelrooy. Duff, pulled over by Van Bommel. Some respite for Ireland. Time whistle, a little over 7 minutes away. Staunton's free kick for Robbie Keane. On towards Duff. Stam did enough. And Van Bommel putting it back to Edwin van der Sar, who has prevented the corner at the expense of a throw. There hasn't been a single corner in this match so far. Kilban, Hart, and opting to use the space surrounding Richard Dunn. Very long. Melchiot's only gone as far as Roy Keane. Through the challenge of Van Bommel. Keane on then for Kilban to measure the cross. Oh dear, it needed a much better cross than that. There was an element of surprise about the attack, and that was a waste.
That is very disappointing. I mean, terrible defending by Melchiot to give it to Roy Keane, but he did well to release Kilban, and he knew immediately he was way overhit.
Kelly. Duff was onside. Van der Sar has left the area. Roy Keane climbing high. Kilban. Now Hart. It's Roy Keane. Lovely ball. Kilban now. Robbie Keane to run. Van der Sar back to defend the goal. Duff in the middle. Facing Hofland. Robbie Keane. He's still there. And Hofland did it again, and Keane has it once more. Robbie Keane. Oh. And finally, Cocu puts it away. It was Matty Holland who arrived but couldn't control it. And the very first corner of the match comes in the 41st minute, and it's to Ireland.
Well, there was nothing Matt Holland could do. Initially, Robbie Keane was trying to pick out McAteer, who had made the run into the box. And when that came at Holland, there was absolutely nothing he could do, because it was struck with a lot of pace.
McAteer flat for Roy Keane to drill one in. He didn't catch it properly, he knows that. Keane in to win it back. Stalks it again. McAteer's made a run from an onside position. Stam out of the middle. McAteer challenging him and penalised for foot up.
It is sometimes hard for a player to accept, but I mean, the referees on the continent will always, when the studs are showing them that high, they'll always give the decision against you. But it was a good run. I'll tell you what though, George, I feel a lot happier as we approach half-time than I did in the early part of the match. Thankfully that edginess about us at the back seems to have eased. They're not causing us as many problems now, and slowly but surely I think we're beginning to create that little bit more ourselves. It's certainly more encouraging now.
Long given. Only as far as Newman, who's gone only as far as McAteer. Now it's Robbie Keane. Newman just got a little nick on, but here's Holland to win it back for Ireland. And now McAteer giving Duff a run, Hookland with him. And Duff turning Hookland beautifully. Duff's cross towards Kilban. The knockdown couldn't quite reach Robbie Keane. A shot from Holland. And only opened it up. And the crowd is sensed exactly the point you were making, Jim.
Well, that was great work by Duff down the right-hand side. It was a lovely little Cruyff-like flick to get away from his man. And above all players, I was thinking of Portugal when it dropped to Matty Holland on the edge of the box. Could he reproduce as he did in Lisbon that night? Unfortunately not. But it is better all round now from Ireland. And you can hear the response from the crowd.
Could you imagine the headlines if Holland had scored? Coming more into the game now after my stumbled comment about it.
I'm not going to try and repeat it either now.
Cuckoo. McAteer. Now it's back with Stam. And on it goes for Newman. Now Van Bommel. Van Nistelrooy. Staunton sticking with him, limpet-like. So it's back to Van Bommel. Van Bommel for Newman. Ireland massed in front of the Dutch, trying to keep all doors closed. Overmars. Cuckoo on for Newman. Not a good cross, not a good clearance. Kelly has done rather better. Melchiot, Zenden, Roy Keane tangling with Van Bommel, and the free kick is given Ireland's way. One of those real 50-50s, and Roy Keane certainly wasn't going to shirk the challenge.
I think it was clever by the referee, because you see the way Van Bommel's trying to play the man. He knows Keane is trying to nip in and just poke his right foot at it. Van Bommel clearly played the man without playing the ball.
The final minute of regulation time in the first half as Staunton takes the free kick. Kilban lost his footing quite simply. Now Robbie Keane. Trying to find some room, and he has done. And now Kilban knocked over by Zenden. No, it's a dive to the referee.
And he's right. It was a dive. There was side-to-side contact, but Kevin Kilban is looking for a penalty, and the referee is absolutely correct in not falling for it. You know, he should have stayed on his feet, because for me he's away from Zenden. He's got a chance. Gap open, he poked it through. Stay on your feet.
Given sending it towards Kilban. Robbie Keane. McAteer taking over. Going nowhere. Holland has opted for safety first. And right on the 45 minutes, the fourth official should produce his board. Offside will be one added minute. Free kick.
1 minute
to be taken by Snapchat. And the line is Kilban, Duff, Robbie Keane, and this man Jason McAteer. And now Gary Kelly, backed by Overmars. And he's forced the throw for Holland.
Oh, we get a good look at it from this angle, side to side. He's already going down. I mean, you can see Zenden is not trying to play the man at all, and I think Kevin Kilban knew pretty much. He picked himself up and got on with it. Referee's correct.
Clivert back in defensive mode. Ball had gone out. It's an Irish throw. Free kick given to Holland, and that's half-time. Halfway there after a very nervous start. 45 minutes have gone and Mick McCarthy's team is still on course, but Patrick Clivert should have been Holland in front very early on, and does he know it? Matt Holland had the chance to get one for Ireland, probably the best chance, but that didn't come either. So half-time at Lansdowne Road, it's Ireland 0, Holland 0. And the second half promises much. No changes on either side at half-time. Same personnel as began the match, begin the second half. If you're watching us at Slane, it's Ireland 0, Holland 0, and they deserve a big cheer because they've come back after a shaky start and they're here, still at parity, still in a position to get the result they want, with the match against Cyprus still to come. The first free kick of the second half to Stephen Staunton and Ireland. And an error has given Ireland the corner. Arthur Newman. 2 corners in this match, and both of them have been Irish. Jason McAteer leaving it. Ian Hart will try to swing it in under Van der Sar's crossbar. Very tall figure commanding in the air, as you'd expect of a top-class international goalkeeper like him. Now here's Hart's corner, and Roy Keane trying to get to it at the near post, and there's Van der Sar, and a good clean catch. And an attempt to release Overmars early, who's certainly been Holland's man of the match. Stephen Staunton in there, but it's come straight through to Van Bommel. That went towards Clivert, and Duff had to get back and assist, and he's put pressure on Hart here. Roy Keane sorting it out, calming it down. Gary Kelly, who did have the best in the first half. Maybe Holland beaten there by Hopeland. And now it's Newman. Overmars. McAteer in to win it, and Roy Keane brought down by Overmars. Free kick to Ireland.
But I've always said it myself, and I was never afraid to ask for help. If Gary Kelly is going to have Overmars one-on-one, of course he's going to struggle. There aren't many fullbacks in the world that wouldn't. McAteer has got to be more alive to it and protect him.
Philip Cocu leading Holland through this tense and edgy encounter. Richard Dunn with the free kick towards McAteer. Newman got there first. Kelly sliding in on Overmars. Throw into Holland. Clivert. Back for Cocu, looking for Van Bommel. It should be Kilband. Dunn towards Robbie Keane. Now here's Matty Holland. Well, it wasn't as close to Van Nistelrooy as it appeared. Now Van Bommel. Staunton underneath it, away from Van Nistelrooy, and out of play for a throw. Top Premiership scorer last season, on the bench for Holland today. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, will he join the action? Here's Newman, and Dunn, calmness personified. He really was in control in that situation. Roy Keane has played it for Damien Duff, and he's found Keane again. Newman caught Duff after the ball had gone. Duff is back on his feet. It's Cocu who's back to break up the attack. But they footballed their way out of a difficult situation there, and it all began with some nice control from Richard Dunn. And there he is again on the ball, and a decent little header helped on by Holland. McAteer stretching to keep it in play and succeeding and taking the pressure off. Hopeland, Cocu, and Stump. Again. Van Bommel. Zenden. Across towards Van Nistelrooy, but it's Richard Dunn's head that gets it away. It's come out to Cocu, back into the danger zone, and that's rebounded from the head of Kluivert. Just playing a bit more together at the beginning of the second half than they were at the end of the first.
Well, the ball's in Van Gaal's court. He's going to have to come up with something now, because they stopped playing after about 25 minutes in the first half. Got to get Kluivert more involved, Overmars then, and get him into positions where they can utilise their pace. And really what the Irish have got to do is just combat it, stay organised, keep the concentration strong.
Roy Keane, after that's a given. Here comes Van Nistelrooy, but given cool enough to get it away. McAteer didn't quite make it in that aerial duel. Overmars now taking on Gary Kelly, and it's Duff who's won it back from him. And now McAteer. Overmars on McAteer. Still it's McAteer on his feet. Whistle is gone though. They've got the free kick. Good by Duff and McAteer. And now it's Gary Kelly. Swung towards Kilban. Too high for him.
I think that's a waste, George. I mean, McAteer's taking the free kick quickly back to Gary Kelly. Steve Staunton screaming at him to wait, we can at least get decent ball into the box. As it was in the end, it was kind of hit and hope from long range for Gary Kelly, looking for Kevin Kilban.
That wasn't very clever, was it? That's well won by Hart. Keane, Roy Keane that is, and he was being pulled back by Cocu. And free kick. And now it's Kevin Hopland who's being told off. Something he said. But, Ireland have got the free kick, and I think they might have taken a yard or two there.
No harm.
Now is Ian Hart going to have a whack at this? When he had the similar opportunity in the first half, it was a pass. This time it's a shot, and it has to be saved by Van der Sar. That was a great effort by Ian Hart. Curled it round the wall. The big keeper had to be good.
Such a long way. I mean, great dip on it, good bend, but just didn't have the pace again. Van der Sar was always behind it.
McAteer. This is Kelly, this is Staub, and now Van Bommel. Zenden facing Hart. Oh, past him as if he wasn't there. Kilban tracking back. Kilban with a challenge. Zenden fell over, and Ireland get the possession.
And when you double up like that, it's a much better chance of stopping a tricky winger, and that's prime example.
Oh dear, they've given it away again, and Zenden's in behind the defender. Back for Kluivert. And then turned back for Cocu. Van Nistelrooy. And given, happy to clutch it and clasp it in.
Well, it wasn't as clean as the tent in the end, but we should learn the lesson of that. We seem to do all the good work with Kilban in the corner. We give it away again, and when the shot comes in, it's a swivel and a quick snapshot really from Van Nistelrooy. Didn't quite dig it out of his feet, and Gibbons there, but we only have ourselves to blame.
Staunton read that well from Van Bommel. Struck forward towards Robbie Keane. Keane against Hopland, and Hopland forced to defend it. And Ireland get a throw. Foul. Newman. Edgar Davids banned from this match, but here, as part of the Dutch squad, I don't know what he makes of it, what difference he might have made. Now, free kick. Mick McCarthy out, making sure they know what they're attempting to do. Hart curling it in there, defended by Cocu. McAteer for Hart once more, holding off Newman. Oh, and he just played it in the wrong place. And Holland break out with Zenden. Matty Holland has gone back to track him. Zenden still across the face of Holland. Zenden then for Mark Overmars. Overmars facing Kelly. McAteer there to assist. Overmars has got through. Well, that I think was going wide anyway, but he's certainly proving too hot to handle for Ireland.
It is, I'm sorry, but I'm going to pick on McAteer again. McAteer can do more to help.
Kilban has got a free kick. Van Bommel bringing him down. Well, that will suit Ireland fine. Take the pressure off, create an attacking opportunity. They've done just that with Keane now. McAteer and Gary Kelly. Now Duff. Duff peeling away from Hofland. McAteer, Roy Keane. McAteer again. Falling over for Coop. Roy Keane. Kelly all the way back. Forgiven. An indication of how Luis van Gaal is figuring his team aren't doing. He's going to withdraw Boudewijn Zenden and send on Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, an extra striker. Kluivert looking for Van Nistelrooy, well read by Richard Dunn. He was had a very solid game, and then he plays a terrible pass and puts the pressure back on. Overmars with the shot, and Given has to parry it away.
It was a clever parry too, because look at Van Nistelrooy. As soon as the shot comes in from Overmars, he's looking for anything that's going to come back off the keeper. And Given knows that he's got to get this wide of the post. It was a good save because it bounces in front, but Van Nistelrooy was hovering.
So, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank enters the fray, wearing number 15 and making his 15th appearance in the orange shirt. He scored 6 goals in his previous 14 appearances. Ball went out before it came back, goal kick to Ireland. He's made just 14 previous appearances and scored 6 goals for Holland. And of course he was the Premiership's top scorer last season. This isn't over yet.
Well, it looks as if he's just going to swap positions with Zenden. Zenden's come off right side, Hasselbank's filling in, so the formation's exactly the same. I can't quite see him being the flying winger, but any chance that he gets, he'll be looking to get into the box, and he's somebody to keep an eye on.
Dunn towards McAteer. The ball kept in play beautifully by McAteer. It's Robbie Keane, there's no one in the middle. Keane against Hofland. McAteer is still there. Now they've got men in the box. McAteer's cross cleared by Melchiot, only as far as Robbie Keane. A darting run by Duff, well picked out by Keane. Duff for McAteer to cross it. Not a good cross. No one in there.
I think it's been our problem all afternoon. When we've got into reasonably promising positions, we've struggled to get numbers into the box.
Dutch still for the backward stamp. Hasselbank. Back again to Stamp. Hasselbank. Van Nistelrooy stood on it and not afforded Staunton the opportunity to get it away. Melchiot. And that's deemed to be a foul by Ian Hart on Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. On Bommel for Newman. Overmars, stripped by Gary Kelly.
He could get sent off if he's not careful. I think
yes, he's gone. Oh.
George, it was a stupid tackle. He doesn't have to commit himself. I mean, he did it in getting booked in the first half. And there's no need for him. I mean, Overmars is close enough to the halfway line. He's got his back to goal. He's got to try and get it under control. And Gary Kelly just threw himself in.
That's terrible. That is terrible for this team. He's had a bad game and he's now put Ireland under terrible pressure. 10 men. First Irish player to be sent off since David Connolly in Brussels in that playoff against Belgium. And let us hope that it isn't a portent of how the match is going to end, because it wasn't a happy night in Brussels that night. The World Cup qualifier, the playoff, I think the referee had no option there. He had no need to tackle like that. He has to do it.
You're on a yellow card. You have to be absolutely sure you're going to get the ball when you go into a tackle like that. And he threw himself from quite a way, and that was very, very careless. He hasn't had a happy day, Gary Kelly. I feel he could have been protected a lot more, but that's just the way his day has gone.
Steve Finnan is going to come on for Robbie Keane, so this looks like the moment at which Mick McCarthy has settled for a draw. We're backs to the wall now for the remaining 32 minutes of this game. He's got it right back again, but he's now got Damien Duff all on his own. Holland of the free kick taken by Cocu. Van Nistelrooy up. And Hart extended away. Back now with Mario Melchiot. Looking for Cocu. Finnan to defend it. Did so well. Moved away by McAteer.
Hey, we've got to try and play it. Yeah.
Got to try and play it, says McCarthy.
Anything Damien Duff can get hold of now is going to be a bonus. If he can win us a free kick or two and relieve the pressure, and we'll take it.
Staunton winning it back. Now this is a big test of this Irish team, and they're really putting pressure on themselves. But they do have to keep their concentration and keep Holland in front of them, because a draw is enough. There's never the right attitude to go out playing for a draw, but in the circumstances that present themselves now with half an hour to go, 0-0 would be the happiest of outcomes.
For me, it's come down to Irish grit and heart now.
Overmars. Not a good ball from him. Kilban for Roy Keane. McAteer for Keane again. Hoffland out, and Keane goes thundering through, and it's an Irish ball. Hold it again, says McCarthy. Damien Duff wanted to take the quick throw, and McCarthy was right there at the edge of his technical area saying, hold on, because all these little seconds add up to time that Holland can't score.
So you just don't want to play into their hands.
And Duff has been penalised here. Remarkable fact, just thinking about Gary Kelly sending off. Only 7 Irish players have been sent off. He's the 7th in all the years. But seldom in more dangerous and dramatic and threatening circumstances can a player have been sent off. Ireland with the possession with Hart, the lone striker Duff, Roy Keane, McAteer, Holland and Finnan. McAteer helping it on. Clivert losing out to Kilban. Hart, Keane and Dunn. Oh, he's getting in trouble here. Finnan put under such pressure. Possession lost. That shouldn't be any trouble though to the defence. Oh no! And that's going to be a penalty, is it? No, it's not. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
It can't be. Well, it started off with a messing about at the back. I mean, I don't know, we seem to think we're Brazil all of a sudden and we can start strolling around the back four. And I mean, it's the wrong thing to do. Steve Stoneman is just trying to head it back, not knowing Shea Given's come out. I don't think Shea Given is deliberately trying to impede Van Nistelrooy. He's committed himself, can't get out of the way. Maybe another referee might have given it. I think possibly we're fortunate.
Well, it's a matter of interpretation, but the only thing that matters is Helmut Krug kept his whistle firmly in his hand, and finally Holland make a substitution that sends on another striker, Pierre van Hooydonk, now of Feyenoord, in place of the left back Arthur Newman. Well, if we get out of this, it'll be one of the great escapes. Overmars. Well stopped by Steve Finnan. Now Keane to lead the attack. He's looked up, he's seen Duff in the middle, but he'll go as far as he can. Tracked by Stam. Nicely played and supported by Jason McAteer, who loses the possession. And Keane has to go and win it back again. And Finnan is clattered, the ball goes out, and the throw is awarded to Ireland. And there you saw the manager. Calm down, calm down.
Well, we're going to need plenty more of that from Roy Keane as well.
He's had a smile with the 4th official. He can still raise a wry one, but what must he be going through? Up here it's bad enough.
I'm just glad the referee has looked kindly on us after that, because I think there was enough of a mix-up about it as to, you know, not make it look as if Shea Given is deliberately trying to impede Van Nistelrooy.
But what about Steve Staunton in the middle of all that?
Well, I mean, maybe the call didn't come. You know, he's unsure. If the call doesn't come, he's thinking, well, I must head it because the keeper's just keeping his distance. But, you know, what went on before that was just a mess as well. You don't start knocking it about the back four, especially down to 10 men against the side that has to win today.
And we're doing it again and again and again. But this was the awful moment.
You know,
that angle.
The more I look at it, I thought it was just a mix-up. The more I look at it, we got away with it. I think it was a penalty.
He knew
He knew what he was doing.
Stam. Well, the crowd, I must say, are giving enormous encouragement here. They know what's at stake. They don't want the flag. It would be disastrous to think they'd got this far and that they were then to lose it. And they are going to try and carry them to the final whistle on a wall of noise. Van Bommel, bad ball, Finnan cutting it out, putting pressure on McAteer, putting pressure on themselves a little too much for their own good. Bit early to begin the countdown, but there's just over 25 minutes to go. Overmars, past Finnan this time. Overmars cross, Van Nistelrooy trying to head it, an unconvincing effort by Matt Holland to head it. And then Keane loses the possession to Cuckoo. It's Melchiot. Hasselbank. That wasn't very clever.
It's not what he's renowned for, is it?
And Roy Keane using Given. And Duff against Stam. And Duff brought down more relief.
That's clever work by Damien Duff, because he knew Stam was going to get the first touch on it. He just darted in front, knowing it was going to bounce off, nipped in.
And Melchiot's been booked. Well, he's been yapping at the referee, though it was the other yap, Stam, who committed the foul. Oh, well, no, it was Melchiot, in fact. I do beg your pardon. I thought it was Stam who committed the foul, but
I think he's been harshly done by. I think Melchiot played the ball, and I think Duff took a dive. But we'll take any respite we can get.
oh, this has come through to McAteer. Challenged by Hofland. And that's a corner. More momentary respite and indeed the opportunity to maybe do something. Jason McAteer will take. Richard Dunn goes up. He knows how to score from this kind of set piece. And swung in invitingly. Van der Sar away with the fists. Duff having to retrieve it. Back for Hart. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, he had the confidence to do it, but 30,000 hearts were in mouths at that point. Now Roy Keane, you can always depend on him. Duff in close attendance. Keane is fouled. Duff helping it on towards Finnan. Finnan facing Cuckoo. And a little cross in there, and it's come through here. McAteer! Amsterdam revisited. There has been agony this afternoon. Now there is ecstasy. Jason McAteer, Mick McCarthy's big gamble, gets the goal. Ireland hit the front. Holland had to score twice.
Well, I mean, the Dutch really got caught out when the ball came in. It looked as if the attack was going nowhere when Finnan was held up right side. Does well to get anything in. Where's Melchiot? He's drawn right in on the centre-backs. I don't think McAteer can believe his luck, and I was willing him just to keep it down, keep composure, because it bounced in front of him. Boy, did he do that. Fantastic finish.
He did it in Amsterdam to put Ireland 2-0 up that night. And you know, he hasn't scored since. Well, he's done it here. And that remarkable Irish sequence continues. 15 consecutive matches, and they've scored. And they're now 1-0 up. And there's a bit of edginess still to be gone through. A few palpitations to be endured. But there are now 22 minutes remaining. We're in the final quarter, and Ireland lead 1-0. Just his third international goal, Jason McAteer. And there'll scarcely be a more important one. He scored the first against Macedonia in October 1996, and then he scored in Amsterdam back in September of last year, and now he's done it in Lansdowne Road. Damien Duff couldn't assist him on that occasion, but that has been a selection and a half by Mick McCarthy. Leave out Quinn, push Duff forward, bring in McAteer.
Incredible.
Hasselbank. Staunton bringing it under control, skipping away from Stam's challenge. And now we really will see what Holland are made of. They have to score twice.
Well, importantly for us now, it's just calm everything down. We're obviously euphoric after getting a goal, in a great position, considering we're down to 10 men. The likes of Roy Keane, Steve Staunton, lots of talking, keep the concentration, don't let up now, just hang in there, battle for everything.
There goes the whistle for offside. Now, Gilban. Stam. Lost the possession, McAteer. Cuckoo. We want to get it in there. Oh, Staunton. Didn't really know where that was going, but he got away with it.
Well, we should have got to Cuckoo quicker, you know. I didn't like the way he was allowed to just encroach onto the box. Wasn't the greatest attempt. I think it was a shot in the end, but thankfully Steve Staunton got enough on it.
And they didn't defend that terribly well, but away it's gone for the moment. From Bommel. Melchiot! Oh, well, that was a chance, maybe not as clear-cut as some that have gone before. But Holland make their final change. Gio van Bronckhorst, formerly of Glasgow Rangers, now of Arsenal, is on in place of Mark Overmars.
I mean, the Melchiot attempt at first looked close, didn't it? But on the replay it was well wide, and thankfully he was off balance and trying to control it, got away from him, and he was stretching when he hit it. But there's a guy we can't allow much room around the box, because he really can strike them.
Remember his equaliser in Holland. Well, Louis van Gaal's future is on the line now. He knows that. The Dutch, who burst on the scene 1974 and have been at football's top table ever since. And really they are now staring into something of an abyss. But their plight should not concern us, for what matters more is that Ireland are in the driving seat in this match. And with 10 men are in a position to decide their own destiny. Hasselbank. Well, that was Van Hooydonk, and now it's Keane. He rode the challenge of Van Bommel. Well, that will do. Melchiot, Hasselbank, and he's fouled by Ian Hart. And Hart claiming that he was being pulled, and Hart claiming he was elbowed.
There's no need for him to get involved, because Hasselbank's no stranger to this kind of thing.
So there's an indication that the Dutch are losing it. But they've got everybody up. Stam is up. Melchiot in there too. McAteer able to clear.
Well, they should expect a better delivery than that. Hasselbank again. That was a poor attempt.
Staunton in there to defend. And Finnan did very well. And also doing well, Kevin Kilban, and then a foul. A foul on Damien Duff. Van Bommel. This is a time for cool heads. And if possible, calmness.
Well, I said anything that Damien Duff could get, anytime he could get on the ball would be a bonus for Ireland. Anytime he can win a free kick like that, continue to make it scrappy, stop-start, it's all going to suit us and frustrate the Dutch. Superb from Duff.
Not a wasted free kick. It's a goal kick for Edwin van der Sar. What does that clock say? 28 minutes? little under 17 to go. Tension etched on every face. There has not been an atmosphere like this in Lansdowne Road for a long time. It's something to be lived through, something to be endured. But the prize is enormous. And the scalp that will be taken on the way to claiming that prize will be huge. But 16 minutes to go. Hasselbank's cross, Hart's defence. And Kilban there to assist as well. Hasselbank will try once more. And that's a goal kick.
Well, I was a little worried when he came on because, you know, just one flick of that right boot sometimes and not a lot you can do about it. But he's been stuck isolated out on the right side, hasn't looked happy. But I think the key for him to be able to make those little darts into the box was Holland possession. And they've not been able to do that. Credit to the Irish, breaking the game up, making it scrappy.
Well, there's his agony now. And here's ecstasy personified. Murphy up the winner. And Hart's climbing all over Hasselbank. And he's injured himself, wounded in the fall. And the attention not being allowed on for Ian Hart. He's out of position, obviously. Kilban has got to go back to left back. Cuckoo. Staunton got it clear. Stam on for Hasselbank. Hart is only getting back into that position now. And the cross not dealt with very well by Van Hooijdonk. And Keane determined to get it away. Hofland and Melchiot finding Stam. And now Cuckoo. Not a good cross. The header away is by Holland, only as far as Stam. Can he hit them? I think we have the answer. How long will he be in his job after this, we wonder?
He's just set a yap. What was that?
Well, he's not used to the rarefied air in the final third, big yap.
But just looking, you know, Steve Staunton in particular now, screaming at everybody, making sure that nobody falls asleep, everybody on their toes. Keep it going for the 90.
Of which 14 remain. Melchiot the winner. Now Van Bommel. Looking for Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy on for Cuckoo. There's a key forming in the middle. Cuckoo's cross in towards Van Hooijdonk. And it's gone from him to Hasselbank. Staunton has fallen over. Hasselbank's cross. Well defended by Holland. Really well done. And kept Kluivert at bay.
It was excellent work by Holland. He was aware that Kluivert lurking on the far post. He just had to make enough of a presence. If you don't win it cleanly, you've got to put your opponent off. He did exactly that. Just jump back into him, and Kluivert can't get a clean header.
The 10 men lead 1-0. And there's that noise again to spur them on. And Melchiot got the better of Kilban. Hasselbank on towards Van Nistelrooy. Holland went in to challenge him and did so unfairly. So it's a free kick to his namesake country. Cuckoo. And on through Van Bommel. Hasselbank against Kilban. Hasselbank still. On for Cuckoo. Kluivert with a backward header on. Staunton getting it to Dunn. Trying to force it clear. Back it's come from Van Bronckhorst. It's Roy Keane playing the captain's part, who's got it further away. But now it's Van Bommel. His cross too high for Van Nistelrooy. The header away by Dunn. But only as far as Cuckoo. Cuckoo to try and shoot. Here's Van Nistelrooy. Give it out of his goal. Van Nistelrooy's denied. And side net. Side net from Kluivert. Oh well, two big misses from him today.
He's off balance in the end. I mean, Cuckoo, I think, was trying a shot again. He's dragged a couple of those today. Van Nistelrooy just took it that little bit too far in front of him. Not a lot he could do about it because there was so much pace on the initial shot by Cuckoo. Good save from Given. And for a moment I thought that was it. You know, I thought they had the equaliser. He's off balance. Can't steal it on target.
Well, they say that fortune favours the brave. And we made the point as early as the opening minutes when Kluivert had a dreadful miss, and he's had another one. There's been a fair slice of good fortune for Ireland in a very brave performance, and it's not over yet. Stam denying Duff. And a clumsy challenge by Staunton, and Dunn will knock it away. And Staunton being injured. Hart did well to keep it in play. Duff is offside. Staunton has taken a knock in the back. He's still on the ground, and I should think they'll have to allow the attention to come on. It was a clumsy challenge against Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Yeah, I think he might have injured himself in many ways in his anxiety to get there and get something on.
No one has been more committed to the cause than he today. It's been a masterful performance from Ireland's most capped international. But here's Cuckoo, Holland's captain. And Staunton on the ball and able to get it away. Now this is all about courage and concentration, and Steve Staunton has them in abundance. Melchiot against Hart. Now it's Hasselbank. Poor cross, dealt with by Keane. Van Bommel descended back again. Richard Dunn, not a great defensive header. Holland is there against Kluivert, but it's safe. It's safe for Shea Given.
Again, the challenge was sufficient. I mean, anytime it looks like go near an orange shirt, it has to be a challenge of some sort, whether you take the ball cleanly or not. And thankfully Ireland, back in numbers, are doing just that.
Well, scarcely can a stadium announcer have got a cheer before, but his announcement that comes 10 minutes before the end that stewards are required at their end of match positions has done just that. But Holland have 10 minutes to try and retrieve it, and Ireland have 10 minutes to battle on. And Keane got the better of Van Bronckhorst, and then Stam fouled Damien Duff. A towering performance today by Damien Duff as well. Amazing when you think of it. Keane was immense there too, and then Stam pulled over Duff. Amazing when you think of it that the game could include a bad showing by Gary Kelly, who ended up getting himself sent off for 2 yellows. And still Ireland have done what they've done and got themselves into this position. That's a foul surely by Hoffland. Hoffland on Duff. Ireland's free kick, no hurry from Roy Keane. On by Keane, and a foul, or an offside rather, by Jason McAteer. But in the midst of all that confusion, Patrick Kluivert got himself booked. Was it something he said? Cuckoo for Van Bommel. And on for Stam. 8 minutes to go. In turn for Hasselbank. Facing Ian Hart. Hasselbank with a cross towards Van Hooijdonk. And Kluivert again, in fact, who got the header on. He'll hardly have merited a 5-star showing in this match, Patrick Kluivert. And for that, in some measure, Ireland's defensive resolution must be complimented.
Well, without doubt. I mean, that's why he's been able to get nothing clean on it. Okay, apart from the one he had on the ground that he missed into the side netting. But anything that's come in the air has been a challenge.
Mick McCarthy scarcely bear to watch. Melchiot. Duff is in there to win it back for Ireland. And go off an amazing little dribble. Duff. McAteer ahead, the flag's up for offside. Shame.
Duff's been outstanding, you know. I mean, he has done a terrific amount of work, and especially when the change had to be made with Finnan coming on after Kelly was sent off. And the work he's done up front has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, he's my MOM.
Finnan controlling that well. And then Cuckoo making him lose possession. Cuckoo's cross. And that should go behind, and it has done, and it's a goal kick. That was fortunate. Then a little lapse in concentration by the Fulham man. Cuckoo trying to lead by example. And McCarthy is trying to keep them calm, saying, you're doing all right. just keep it going.
They're doing fine. Well, as soon as that ball went over the end line from Cuckoo there, a few heads went down, you know. I think the Dutch know that it's unlikely now. They're running out of time.
The clock on the East Stand is counting down. 6 minutes to go. And when you're 1-0 down with 6 minutes to go, you've got to be feeling the fatigue of the 84 minutes exertions rather more than the lead team. Roy Keane penalised. Hockland, Van Bommel, and on for Hasselbank, who has hugged that touchline throughout to no great effect. And facing Hart. Hart holding him at bay. Hasselbank tried the shot, blocked by Richard Dunn.
See again, Kilban stood behind him for a long time doing nothing. He's got to get there and try and help Hart. Man's trying to take him on. Go to what you see in front of you.
Ireland have won this vote. And Roy Keane has been nominated man of the match by the press box. I think you should maybe have cast your vote, Jim, for Damien Duff.
Possibly, maybe he would have won it. Keane's been terrific. He always is in the green shirt of Ireland. But Damien Duff for me has been... well, he's picked it.
And Staunton in his 91st international.
Well, it's die-hard stuff from at the back. I mean, you always knew it was going to come down, particularly with 10 men, to grit, heart, spirit, and the Irish have dug in superbly well.
That's gone behind for a corner. Fourth corner of the second half for Holland. More defending to be done. Hasselbank taking a lot of air on it. Stam goes up. It's come out to Van Bronckhorst. Don't let him shoot. And they don't. And finally it's away by Ian Hart.
I thought that might be greeted by a cheer.
And Van der Sar out of his goal. And he's not likely to give it away. Van Bommel now. Now Hasselbank. And across from him, looking for Kluivert. But away from Van Bronckhorst and McAteer, hoofing it clear. And offside against Damien Duff. Flag up yet again. Well, that's Damien Duff's last involvement in the game, because he's going to be replaced for the final few minutes by Niall Quinn. Not just yet, though. Yes, just 3 minutes to go. That's what they can all see in this stadium. And they know Ireland are in pole position. Staunton clearing. Throw to Holland.
I think you might see Niall Quinn come on as another centre-back, because I mean it's going to be spent the last bit of the match in Ireland's box.
Yes, Damien Duff goes, having played a tremendous game, and a huge cheer for him. And Niall Quinn comes on for his 85th cap, replacing Damien Duff. Now very much the squad player. He knew if he wasn't going to be selected today, he could still have a part to play, and that part is now as an extra centre half. Out it comes to Hasselbank. And the Hasselbank again. Ping ball. Van Bommel. Hasselbank once more. That'll do nicely. Wow. Mick McCarthy can't believe it. He'd be happy enough for it to blow up now, but we could have another 5 to go.
Don't say that, George. My nails have gone already.
I just hope I'm not a cardiac case by the end of this, because it's real edge of the seat stuff. But let us not forget that Holland must score twice. Quinn now forward and winning against Stam. Hofland. That's Cuckoo. And Hoydunk back for Hasselbank again. And now Stam. Centre half's first touch. That was helped on towards Kluivert. And he's missed again.
Well, he's had a shocker in terms of his chances. I mean, that early chance in the match that he put past the post, he should have done better with, and that was just wild. Okay, I don't think he's delighted to have it on his left side, but he should be looking to keep that down at least, and that's a bad attempt.
33 goals in 55 internationals before today, and aren't we lucky he's chosen this one to have an off day? At least 3 chances, maybe 4 that Patrick Kluivert has had. Well, they're glum oranges, aren't they? I'd say the fruit most akin to the flavour they're feeling at the moment is a lemon. So there will be 3 extra minutes. Cuckoo retrieving. 3 extra. Half of the regulation time to go, half a minute of it. Hasselbank against Quinn. He had the pace, there's the cross, and there's the defensive header by Matty Holland.
Well, he's just got 2 great balls in Hasselbank, one right across the face of the goal, and the other a nice pullback, and still nothing.
Stam losing out to Quinn, and Keane dispossessed by Van Bronckhorst. And chance here, but Given is there to save. 3 minutes to be added, and we're 6 seconds into overtime. No rush from Shea Given.
Well done, Richard Dunn, as well, with the challenge on Van Nistelrooy. But he's picked up a knock in the process.
Well, Van der Sar seemed to be outside the box when he handled the ball, but the referee and the assistant didn't see it like that. On they go. Quinn defending, and Roy Keane too. There's been a foul on Niall Quinn. It's a free kick to Ireland.
Stam was all over him.
And that's another attack that is founded on the rock. On this occasion of Niall Quinn. But what about Edwin? He caught it there, and on he went. And his foot's outside the box, and he's right outside the box, and that's a handball.
It is.
He's been beaten once today, and that's all that matters. And we're in the 2nd minute of the 3 that Helmut Krug, the German referee, is adding on. And Van der Sar joining in the attack. You know, you'd nearly give them a goal at this stage because they wouldn't have time for another, surely.
No, we wouldn't.
Defended by Holland. Keane. Finnan. Hofland. And it's Keane. And Quinn. And Keane. And McAteer. Here we go. Holland funnel back. Melchior to chase it.
Corner, that's all
we don't need the goal.
Corner.
Keep it in there. And the seconds tick away. Well, he did brilliantly there, didn't he?
That's okay. He's done well.
Because it's now just 1 minute and 10 to go, and Holland need 2. Dare we believe? Van Bommel. Van Hooydonk. And Finnan is there to retrieve. We're in the final minute of the added time. If ever anything was certain in Irish sport, it has to be that Ireland are going to put themselves in pole position to qualify for the World Cup. It's in their own hands, and they very nearly knocked out one of the top teams. Now, wide again.
Well, I thought that one was in. I really did.
Van Nistelrooy.
Well, he just seemed to want to pick a spot, and I thought he just steered it inside the post.
Jason McAteer. That was very close, but Jason McAteer goes off to be replaced for the final minute by Andy O'Brien. He came on very late in Estonia, and he's come on very late here. That was his first cap, this is his 3rd. And the final substitution, I dare say, where only Ireland's 2nd has been made, and Ireland's hero departs. And you wonder, did Mick McCarthy do that to give him an individual cheer because of what he'd achieved today, which is score the goal that looks almost certain to become the winner. The 3 minutes are up, it has to be over, and Holland have to be as good as out, and Ireland have to be as good as there. It's Cuckoo. We're in the 4th minute of added time, and he said there'd only be 3. Van Bommel. Hofland. Everybody back. All 10 men. Holland's last hurrah. Van Bronckhorst. Richard Dunaway. The final whistle sounds at Lansdowne Road. It has to be one of the most courageous, the most brave, the most committed, and ultimately the most effective of Irish performances that we've ever seen. And Mick McCarthy has taken his team, surely, all the way to Korea, and Holland are as good as out. The mathematics may suggest it, that Holland can still go there and that Ireland won't. But after that today, against one of the top teams in the world,